I called the one for the numbers, trying to be funny. Hours closed. And then when I call, it's this. I don't know where these numbers I'm getting come from.
Please leave your message
It
for
changed. It was just in
512
another language. You just heard it.
4739718.
How's the police department sound? Why does it sound like that?
Se
This is how
reenvió
it
al
sounded
buzón de
earlier.
voz. La persona con la que intentas comunicarte no está
So the
disponible.
voice note
Graba tu
changes
mensaje después del tono. Puedes colgar cuando
for the
hayas
same
terminado
number.
de grabarlo.
So this is why they didn't like to want to use my phone. I put in Austin Police Department and it came up Dallas Police Department and then Grand Prairie. So it takes countless amount of time because you repeatedly back to back experience strange things like this. So multiple parties just got frustrated, told other people, and they wanted nothing to do with my phone. And then if I held my phone up, people were acting like I was shooting them. And I was like, and you know, I wasn't recording them at the time at Austin Street. They had a strict policy, and I wasn't recording anyone at that time. But even staff was terrified of my phone to the extreme that they stole them. I've had multiple different thefts of phones, and the police department covered for it all. So I'm trying to find the Austin Police Department to see what happened with this man stealing my perfume and phone, and to see what interest he had in taking my phone. I mean my perfume.
311, my name is Joseph. Let me help you.
Yes, I had an incident with Officer Collins. I believe his badge number is 7245. He covered for cars coming at me that was recorded. Someone threatening me different people in 2 days, and 2 times in 1 day. I've had multiple different threats, and I believe that someone was setting them up. He covered for all of that, a domestic violence organization scamming not to give me assistance. It was a repeated pattern, so I called the police. So multiple different things he covered for. So he eventually arrested me for to cover for death threats. He didn't want me exposing the death threats, so he took my freedom. He also stole my phone and perfume. And I reported this to Internal Affairs, and they won't return my calls. In 311, I've been forced to report multiple different crimes to 311, and none of them have ever been investigated. They pretend like the investigator can't get a hold of me, like 15, 20 times. Because I would get threatened so many times. Do you have a case
number for one of the reports you've made, ma'am, with 311, 3311?
Are you able to use my name?
No, not to search the information, unfortunately. I have to do on the database. Do you have like a location address and an approximate time when you reported something?
They were able to pull it up with my name before it changed.
Okay. Can you tell me when you reported some of the matters, some of the issues?
Yes, it would have been. I was there from September to October. Wow, it was so short before they set up a false arrest. I was only there from September to October, like a month, and then they had already got paid to take my freedom.
2024? Last year?
Yes, that's correct.
Is that correct? Okay. And so what was it you reported? Like a theft, like a burglary, or theft from you, or from a vehicle, or to locate your residence?
Multiple different cars would come at me repeatedly over and over, and then a couple times I had it recorded. And Officer Collins would not let me report the vehicles.
Okay.
And then it got so extreme, a police car did it. I was trying to report that someone attacked me, and someone was the person that got in the shower with me and threatened me, tried to take my phone.
Ma'am, can I have a phone number for you, please? You would have left for them to call you back on.
Okay. Yes, I was getting terrorized at the shelter, and obviously, if someone got in the shower with me, you could see how it built up to so many reports. Do you think that's bizarre for an officer? As soon as I started talking, you started talking too? Immediately when I started talking. Immediately when I started talking, you started talking too? At the same time?
Yes, ma'am.
So you said you were looking for something, and then I started talking, and then you started talking too. What did you need?
Yeah. What I was going to say was, so you don't have any report numbers that you were given by the police when they made contact with you, correct, as far as you can recall?
You just got my information. So were you just trying to distract me on what I was saying? Telling you that okay. Well, no. I got distracted on what I was trying to say because you were talking too. It's a pattern that I experienced. I've already told you I didn't have the report number and you were looking up my name.
Okay. So I'm going to need to put in a request. That's what I was going to say. Sorry. I would need to put in a request to have the police call you back and see what they can advise you because I'm not finding anything in my system, unfortunately. And
What's
which
your
of
name?
the shelters were you located at
What's
when you were
your
here
name?
in September and October last year?
What's your name?
My name is Joseph.
Do you have an ID?
Yes, if you want my ID number, let me give it to you. One moment.
I just find it peculiar that all these reports keep disappearing all over the place, all these different police departments. A police officer has to call me and let me know what I need to do regarding Officer Collins' crimes.
Yes,
Is that
and
what
then
you're stating?
discuss with you if you need to report something to them on the issue where
I
things
think
are
I need
taken
to
from you
speak
at
with
the
a
shelter, like you
supervisor
said.
because why would 311 hide out multiple different reports? Well, it
Well,
says
I'm not
serious.
hiding anything, man. We're not hiding
I'm
anything.
just not
What I'm
being
trying to
heard.
advise
Each
is-
time I'm talking, you're talking while I'm talking. That's rude. I experience this repeated pattern, especially when my abuser's mad. It's the strangest thing. But what I was trying to communicate, as cars are speeding up like they're going to hit me, and I'm getting threatened, and someone's getting in the shower with me, it sounds like I'm being highly harassed. And I'm not quite certain on why you guys would lose all those reports. And then I got put out of a mall in corruption because he was panicking. He don't like me to shop and fix myself up. Then degraded at the mall by security. I told them I'd call the police to report harassment and prank calls and all kind of other things, and they needed me to leave the cover to make sure that I didn't report it to the police. I got put out of 3 different locations that day. I got put out the shelter in corruption, and I got put off
Yes,
a bus.
ma'am, and I'm sorry that happened, and I'm sorry
But
to
I'm
interrupt you,
just
ma'am, but
the
I have
problem
to,
of
if
it
you're
is
wanting to,
these
if you're
reports.
wanting, ma'am,
I'm not getting
ma'am, please, if I can advise
resolutions
what
for
I need to
10
do, ma'am.
years because you can't find any of those reports. Is what I'm trying to communicate. We're not meeting the common
And what I'm
ground.
trying to,
All my
and
calls.
ma'am, what I'm trying to advise, yes, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, ma'am, what I'm trying to advise is if you're needing to follow up with the police regarding these reports you've made with them, I have to get your name and number to send to them so they
But
can
you're
call you back and talk
311 and
about
I'm not
that.
being heard. I made multiple different reports to 311 because the police department wouldn't answer the phone and I was railroaded to make them to 311 to never get investigated. So my report is, how did all these reports to 311 disappear?
Well,
And
we
they're
don't make
serious
reports here with
reports.
311. Whenever somebody calls us like yourself needing to report something that happened in the city of Austin, we send a request to our computer system to police on emergency, and then they call you back to make the report with you over the phone about the issue that you're needing to report to them.
I'm just not quite certain if I call 311 all these times, how's it all of it missing? If someone's getting threatened 2 or 3 times a day by someone, that's serious. If someone is openly
what I'm
gang
saying.
stalked and people are
Yes,
getting in the
that's what I'm
shower
saying.
with
If
them,
you're
trapping them on
if you're needing to make
elevators,
a
and then
report
staff
about
is
any
trying to steal
issue,
from them.
yeah,
Each
if you need
time
to
I'm
make a
trying to
report about
talk,
any
this
issue,
is, well, it is what it is. I'm not going to let it bother me. They get away with it. Okay, what did you need to say, sir? I know that that's your job to talk while I'm talking, to make sure nothing's resolved. To just leave me trapped in it year after year. I don't have rights, sir. You have the floor. What did you want to say? I haven't been heard all this
did
time.
you want to give me your name and number so I can send the request over to the police department through my computer so they can call you back and discuss with you the issues that happened to you back in September and October of last year, 2024?
If that's what you're railroading me to do, I mean, the ball's in your court. I don't have the power that you have to abuse.
Okay.
So we're not
May I have
going to
your name, please,
answer.
so I can send the
We're
request
not
over?
going to answer how those reports came up missing. You're unwilling to answer that. So I only have the options that you guys give me to not go to prison.
Yes, may I have your name, please, ma'am?
You already had it, but I thought you already had it. How did you look up my information and see that all the reports were missing?
No, I don't have your information. You didn't give me your name, ma'am. I just have your phone number.
So don't you think maybe you need my name to pull up my reports?
Well, that's what I'm asking for now, so I can send the request over so they can
But
call
I
you back.
mean, there's multiple different reports. How are you going to go? How could you find those reports without my name? I didn't have that phone number.
I didn't find
have that
anything
phone
in
number.
the system, man. That's why I have to have them call you back.
I'm not being heard. I didn't have that phone number. Are you
didn't have
trying
the
to
phone number when
deliberately
you were here in
railroad
September,
me?
October last year?
No, I didn't have that number.
Okay. What number did you have when you were here in September or October of last year, 2024? Okay, one moment.
I'm giving you the number and you're saying, do you remember? If I'm
Yeah,
giving you the
945.
number, he knows the number, but then said, do you remember? He just said the 945. This is how harassment schemes.
That's all
945.
that I have, man, that you've given me so far. Yeah, 945.
To each time I give it to him, he wants to, it's psychological abuse. 210, the same name that I gave you 3 times, is Kiana Clark.
I'm sorry.
The same
Kiana
name I
Carter?
gave you 3 times. Kiana Clark. I've given you my name 3 times.
Clark. Okay, and how do you spell your first name, Kiana? Please make sure I have it.
Is everything okay?
One moment.
Were you able to find anything? Because you've had me on hold an extended amount of time.
I'm sending a request over to the Austin Police to call you back because I advised about the situation from September and October of last year.
But I mean, you were just looking for it, and then when I gave you the number, that my information would come up because that's to see what answer that you could give, and then you're trying to deflect and not do that. So if you have the number, why would you want? I don't have that number anymore. What's your interest in not telling me what happened with all my reports?
I don't have any information on any of the reports you had, ma'am. That's the reason why I have to send it to
So
the
with
police
both numbers, why would you
further.
try to hide that and have me on hold? I was holding
I'm not
for.
trying to hide anything, ma'am.
So the 945 number, you don't see anything with that either.
No, ma'am.
Okay. I mean, pathological lie after pathological lie. Why let it bother me? I mean, it's been happening 10 years. Okay, I don't have rights. Person after person can violate me, rack up felony after felony, and put me in jail repeatedly 20 plus times, violated in jail, deprived of my constitutional right to go to court, all on a YouTube channel, getting violated, cyberstalked, bullied, and mistreated in the comments, and all my environments, and just have to take it. Are you struggling to get them to get the number, all the information to call me? You're trying to set up someone to call me for this extended amount of time?
Well, I'm putting the notes in that you gave me, ma'am, so that we know what they're calling you about.
What number are you going to have them call back?
You confirmed with me earlier, the 469 number. That is.
What's the number?
It's going to be 25-00 153 183.
Okay.
And the police department non-emergency will review this request and reach out to you within the next 14 days, starting today. That's 14 calendar days. They will try to reach you 2 times between the hours of 8 a.m.
Okay,
and 10
let me make sure I understand. You're not having anybody call me back immediately. They're going to call me back within 14 days to see what happens.
Starting today, so yes, they could call you before 10 o'clock tonight, but if you don't hear from them for the first time, then it'll start over again tomorrow after 8 in the morning through 10 p.m.
Okay, so well, I'm just wanting to make sure it's impossible. This is the experience that I had there. There's no one I can talk to immediately to see what happened to all my reports and see what investigator I have. Period.
I have to put this request in to have them call you back, unfortunately.
And it takes 14 days for them to call me back?
It's a possibility starting today, but they usually call back a lot sooner than that.
So this is how they railroad me into not getting anything done in Austin. Cars coming at me, threatening, someone getting in the shower with me, all this madness that I had to endure, and then they're making it. And because when they call me, I never get the calls. And then they'll believe this bogus message knowing that I can't get my calls to get nowhere.
Ms. Clark, they're going to reach out to you. They're going to try to call you 2 times, and if you miss the 2 call attempts...
I don't get my calls. I'm not going to get it. I haven't got it. All these reports that I've made, I've never gotten a call. I got a call one time when I was eating, and she started an argument, and then wouldn't help. I had just got my food, and immediately when I got I'm not able to speak. Immediately when I got my food, she called to argue. I let my food was getting cold. She pretended like she was going to help, and then started an argument, and I didn't hear from her again. All the rest of the calls I don't get. So it's not working. But I'm railroaded. I wasted all this time. You played these games to make me think that you were going to look to get nowhere. Like what's been happening in 10 years.
Help you with today?
No, this is how I'm treated.
Okay, thank you for calling too, ma'am. Have a good day.
Welcome to the Austin 311 after call service.
So I don't know if you are establishing a pattern. It's not left up forever. Period. They are enforcing these crimes. I'm heavily guarded in jail. I don't go to court. They won't give me any information on my case, my attorney, nothing, or my judge. If the attorney reaches out, then I'll get information that way. Staff won't tell me anything. They withhold law library, regular library, recreation, have even put me in lockdown in corruption. Play games with food. and going outside to the outside rec. They even played games with watching TV, tablets. So whenever I go to jail, it's not a normal experience like other people get. They even enlist inmates in mind games. It was on camera footage. This inmate was let out that wasn't supposed to be out. She kept blocking my path like 4 or 5 times in a row. Then when I said, please let me by, she cursed me out. So I got on the floor and on my hands and knees and begged. So people witnessed that about me being violated. A guard came in and demanded that I go back to my cell, leaving the woman in peace that threatened me and cursed me out because it was set up and prearranged. I told them about how in Itasca, the police department came, the sheriff came and investigated jail staff for them torturing me there with us in the same manner. Then they went ahead and let me out for recreation. Nonetheless, so I just want you to get the idea of the violations, for those that do care, and the amount of parties that are viewing this channel. The appearance of people that do care is very minimal because I haven't really been getting anywhere for an extended amount of time. And there's something going on with my YouTube channel and the views. When my abuser's mad, he lashes out that way too, which is I thought was other felonies. Because I'm monetized, and that what he's doing to my YouTube channel, it I guess you could say it sabotages my channel.
For calling the FBI. To continue this call in English, press 1.
So I'm not quite certain when I call Austin if I'm asking where are all my reports, how I have to wait 14 days for someone to call me back to figure out what happened to multiple different other reports. How is it impossible they didn't give me the number to internal affairs to report or any kind of direction? Because I'm not speaking with internal affairs. Nothing. So I'm calling the FBI scammers.
Thank you for holding.
I mean, it's not difficult. They have body cams on. It was 3 officers that were bullying me, and he went through my bag and was trying to steal my rings too. And then the other officers told him I was watching him. All on body cam footage for the FBI or any kind of law enforcement agency to see it. Since he got away with that, somebody else stole the same rings. So I'm just monitored everything I do on my phone. I'm stalked. Every environment is controlled and monitored. If I walk into someone and walk to find someone that could help me, and I call them, they're going to enforce that party, don't help me. These people don't tell me anything about what's been going on, but they switch up. All environments, all locations were tracked on help. I called all over the country 10 years and nobody will follow protocol and help me, period.
You know tips can be submitted online?
Yeah, like I said, if I meet someone on a whim, that's interrupted too.
For the next available customer service representative.
They know how important this phone is. That's why 6 or 7 police will come to interrupt me reporting this to my provider. They're not willing to go to jail. Look at all those police. Well, I'm at Metro PCS.
Okay, I'd like a case number because I continually get the fraud number. I hear your name's text covered up, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
So after we give you the case number,
there's police behind them.
Probably behind why these stores are committing crimes, and then you come by.
Look at all those police over there. Because I'm trying to report crimes with my phone. They gave me a criminal trespass. Just trying to report, at my provider, thinking I'm alone, illegally being monitored. So they go to Metro PCS and say, give her a criminal trespass, and they did it. So there's another one. The one right there. That's 4, and then more are going to come in.
So I want the police report number, sir. People tamper with evidence as body cam. Okay, since you just cut your body cams on, people tamper with evidence so much. This store's committing a crime.
So the other ones didn't have their body cam on and took a report, so they had him come over to do another report to tamper with evidence.
I've been defrauded funds years by calling scammers on my phone and not getting my calls. And these stores lie and commit crimes and sabotage my services.
So they're having the people, staff at the stores take the fall for their crimes too, telling the stores what to do. There's more coming in a few minutes. Watch. That's 4 right there. And 2 more are going to come in.
Thank you for calling the FBI.
Enforce your crime.
Yes, I can hear you. Do you have an ID?
Yeah, may I?
Do you have an ID?
9247. May I have your name?
It's Kiana Clark.
Can you spell your first name for me?
Key.
Yeah, today?
Yes, I had a false arrest in Austin, and I've had like 20, and I get terrorized by the police department, and they enlist a lot of accomplices.
When was this false arrest?
It was October 13th, 2024, and I was released on the false charges February 13th, and then I was out of jail 1 month, and then they pretended like it was I was released in error.
Miss Clark, February 13th of which year?
This year. If I was arrested October 13th, 2024, I was released at February.
Who were you arrested by?
Austin Police Department. And then
were you charged with anything?
They charged me with false report, and then to tamper with evidence, they later picked up a charge of 911 abusive call because they knew that the false report was a crime, so they tried to blend it in with also charging me for I'm not able to speak, ma'am. They also tried to blend it in with 911 abusive call. And there's certain circumstances that have to be for 911 abusive call, and that didn't happen. So both of them were false charges. They dismissed both of them, but I repeatedly.
I'm asking you a question, Diana.
Oh, I thought you asked a question and I was answering it. I experienced this with the last call. I'm sorry, what was the question you asked?
Answer my question. Have you reported this to Internal Affairs?
No, I thought you report public corruption to the FBI. They're not taking my reports. I have 20-something false arrests. Is there a particular reason why you guys cover for it? And not following policies and protocols?
I'm taking information. I'm not giving information.
Oh.
I suggest you contact Internal Affairs. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
It wasn't easy. You have to put in your number to go through that, but for 10 years plus, they keep covering for crimes. So I just want you guys to see how I'm treated and how they hang up. It was way worse than this. I would be an emotional wreck because I didn't understand what was happening. But I just want you guys to see how someone like me could be trapped in this insanity. Because it is bought off and paid in full. I legally monitored. Churches conspire with it. Almost all of the ones that I've ever been to. It's not left up for error. And if they don't easily conspire, the police department will come on property, sometimes plain clothes and sometimes not, and follow me around churches. And I just had to deal with it. Since that mishap at Arborlawn and Beautiful Feet, now they're enlisting churches into harassment schemes, torment and mind games, so I won't want to go to church. Then the problem solved. The police don't have to violate because church members choose to do it.